Now, James, where's the little list of what we're doing
I
next?
think let's bring on Dana Delany.
Oh, yes. Desperate Housewives, yes. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Dana.
How great was that? It was like being in Melissa's home and she was singing for us. Oh my God.
Isn't that thrilling? By the way, where are you? What's behind you? A spaceship? What's happening behind you? It's beautiful.
That's Santa Monica behind me, and I'm a little orange in reflection of all the fires out there. There's a lot of stuff there. Yeah.
Okay, so James and I want to know why it's important to you to do these kind of political events. Why are you interested in social activism?
Oh boy, well, just look at what's happening in our world right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I always have been, and particularly the women that are running for office. And there's a Texas connection there too, actually.
Oh.
I did a mini series in the 90s called True Women, which is about the women who settled Texas. And it was great. It was based on this book that was a very popular book in Texas. And a 19-year-old Angelina Jolie was in it. This is when I got billing over Angelina Jolie. Texas has been known for strong, strong women. I mean, that, you had to be tough to survive in Texas back then, right after the Civil War. So it's kind of great. And also, I discovered when I was doing research for it that my great aunt, who was one of those Irish spinsters, like myself, she was the nanny in Austin to the Bush family. So that was probably, I don't know, George Sr.'s, maybe George Sr., I don't know, back in the 1920s.
Holy cow. So wait a minute, you started as a Texas woman. I did an episode of Conan O'Brien where I had to pretend to be from Texas. And my friend screamed at me from Houston and said my accent was terrible. I would love to hear your Texas accent, Dana. Why don't you tell people to vote for Alisa? I hear you.
I was a little broad, but the one thing that the coach kept saying was the hard R's. There's a lot. It's not like Southern was very soft and lovely and lyrical. Texas is the hard R's, partner, which is kind of like Irish in a way. It's I would embarrass myself.
It's all good. So for Desperate Housewives fans that are watching, do you have any inside scoop about anything about an episode, like the inside of the houses were really dilapidated, or turns out, I don't even know what? Give us some scoop.
Oh boy. Let me think. You know what I just read in the paper was my character, it was such a ridiculous storyline that the armoire fell on my baby and crushed it. The bookcase fell on my baby and crushed it. And then I had to go out and adopt another baby and pretend that was my baby. Right?
Naturally.
No, it turns out that actually happens in life.
Really?
Yes, there was this story about these bookcases that are supposed to be attached to the wall, and it fell on a baby and killed it. So I was like, Jesus, Mark Cherry, who knew?
Oh my God. But I think the stealing of another child or pretending to be your child, that's more of a Desperate Housewives thingy.
Yes. Well, it was a baby from Romania, So.
I remember that. I remember that season very, very well. I also remember you pretending to be engaged to James Denson, even though he wasn't interested in you. And then you had a wedding cake smash in your face. Anybody?
Oh yeah, me and Terry Hatcher were going at it.
You were wacky, dear.
Dana, did you hear? I don't know if you heard me ask Melissa about her voting plan. Do you have a voting plan?
Yes, I'm very lucky in California because we have a wonderful registrar, Dean Logan, and I was concerned because I re-registered just to make sure, and I didn't get anything back. So, little tip to people: you can DM your registrar on Twitter, and they will answer you and help you. And he helped me and checked the files himself and said, yes, you are all set. But I'm doing voting by mail, but I like what Melissa said because I love going to the polling place. I really, really love it. And mine is at the end of my block. So I love just walking down there. And so I'm going to do that. I'll fill it out and just hand it in so I don't have to wait in line.
Best of both worlds.
That's
Combination
smart.
platter.
Well, thank you, Dana, so much for dropping by and for a little chat.
I wish Alisa the best of luck. I looked her up. I researched her. She sounds like an amazing, amazing, woman who is all about social activism and being a civil servant and giving back. So I'm very impressed with her. So if I were in Texas, I'd vote for her.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, thank you, Dana. We'll see you at another political event, we're sure.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye.